Mark and every presenter, please open your video when you're speaking. Open your video when you're speaking, and group leader ensure that this lecture or this presentation is recorded. Yes, sir. Okay, so next slide. So please allow me to read the statement here. The standard of training, certification, and watchkeeping for seafarers is legally binding for signatory countries. The convention gives minimum legal standards for qualifications and training officers, watchkeepers, and crew must all complete differing levels of Maritime Coast Guard Agency. STCW was originally ratified in 1975, but major amendments were agreed in 1995. It was overseen by the International Maritime Organization. STCW Convention major revisions were adopted by IMO in Manila in June 2010 to ensure the necessary global standards are in place to train and certify seafarers to operate technologically advanced ships. So the STCW is an internationally recognized set of rules that determines what mariners need to know to perform their job safely. Its provisions not only to apply in the seafarers, but also to ship owners, training establishments, and national maritime administrations. So next slide, please. So again, please allow me to read the statement here. Manila amendments to the STCW Convention and Code. These amendments came to force on 1 January 2012 with the new STCW 2010 training and certification being adopted from July 2013. Okay, so it says here that the standard set by the convention it applies to seafarers of all ranks serving on seagoing merchant ships registered under the flag of a country party to the convention. Okay, I'm calling the next reporter. Please proceed.
Good day, everyone. I am Abelardo Pornella speaking. The 2010 Manila Amendments brought about new training requirements. Officer of the watch with yachts less than 3,000 gross tonnage must complete a 5-day efficient deck hand course if applying for certificate of competency after July 1, 2013. This officer of the watch for yachts with less than 3,000 gross tonnage must complete a 5-day efficient deckhand course, which is efficient deckhand is a practical course that enables an understanding of shipboard organization and operations, pilot ladders and means of access, cargo work, safety and seamanship, including knots, splicing, and whipping, and also next slide, please. Officer of watch with unlimited or yachts must complete a 3-day human element, leadership, and management with operational level course if applying for COC after August 31, 2013. Officer of the watch for unlimited or yacht must complete a 3 days human element leadership and management in operational level. This will acquire and develop tools and practical skills to enhance your maritime resources management capability. During the course, they will develop the knowledge and skills addresses to situation and risk assessment, situational awareness, communication, shipboard training, culture, team working, leadership and management, and also workload management. Next is chief mate with unlimited or yacht must complete a 5-day human element leadership and management at a management level course if applying for a COC after August 31, 2013. A chief mate for unlimited yacht must complete a 5-day human element leadership and management for a management level. This course will equip you with the skills and knowledge to be able to control the operation of the ship, to care for the persons on board at the management level through the use of leadership and managerial skills to ensure that the crew are allocated duties and informed of expected standards of work and behavior in manner appropriate to the individuals concerned. Operations are planned and resources are allocated as needed in correct priority to perform the necessary tasks. Effective leadership behaviors are demonstrated. Operations are demonstrated to be effective and in accordance with the applicable rules and others. Next presenter, please proceed.
Hello. Cadet Regalado po reporting. All deck officer must undertake a generic electronic chart display and information system course before either applying for or revalidating their COC. The MCA will accept any of the following courses as meeting the generic training requirements. An MCA approved EDNIS course completed on or after January 1, 2005. An EDNIS course based on the IMO model course approved by an administration whose certificates of competency are accepted by the MCA for the issue of certificates of equivalent competency. An MCA-approved navigation, radar, ARPA simulator course at operational or management level, or their replacements. The navigation aids and simulator training, operational or management courses, for these courses to be considered as meeting EDNIS training requirements. The course must have been completed on or after January 1, 2005.
Cadet Primo reporting. Deck officers not meeting the above requirements will receive the following limitation on their COC. From the January 1, 2017, this certificate is not valid for service on ship fitted with ECDIS. All deck officers serving on flag vessels using ECDIS as the primary means of navigation, including all ships where the carriage of ECDIS is mandatory, must have completed generic ECDIS training. MCA guidance in MIN 503 further advises that type-specific ECDIS training is required when ECDIS is the primary means of navigation. Engineer officer, the watch, unlimited or yacht, must complete a three-day human element, leadership and management, operational level course if applying for COC after July 1, 2013. Second chief engineer candidates unlimited or yacht must complete a 5-day human element, leadership and management level course if applying for COC after July 1, 2013. Next reporter.
Cadet Rivera report. Mandatory security training required for a crew as appropriate, including maritime security awareness, security familiarization training conducted on board the vessel, proficiency in designated security duties, and proficiency as ship security officer. Updated training. The following courses are subjected to updated training. First, updated proficiency in personal survival techniques. The objective of this training course is to ensure delegates continue to maintain the required level of competence with regards to personal survival principle and techniques that can be applied to maximize their chance of survival in the event of marine incident. Updated proficiency in fire prevention and firefighting. The objective of this training course is to ensure delegates continue to maintain the required level of competence with regards to fire prevention and firefighting. Updated proficiency in advanced firefighting. The objective of this training course is to maintain competence level of advanced firefighting techniques with a particular emphasis on organizations, tactics, and command and control. Updated proficiency in survival craft and rescue boats other than fast rescue boats. The objective of this course is to ensure delegates maintain the required standard of competence to safely and efficiently launch and operate survival craft and rescue boats, except fast rescue boats. Next, updated proficiency in fast rescue boats. The objective of this course is to give delegates the theoretical and practical knowledge and skills required to enable them safely operate a fast rescue boat and carry out effective rescue procedures as identified in the learning objective and stated outcome for proficiency in section AB12 of the STC code. Updated training requirements have been introduced for all STCW certificates holders to comply with STCW requirements. Let's report them.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Gerson B. Rodrigo Jr. Evidence of having completed the updated training. If the original course was more than 5 years ago, will be required on a number of occasions, including when the Port State Control Inspector boards the vessel, when applying for a COC, and when revalidating an existing COC. Proficiency is designated security duties. Ship Security Officer. Here are the examples of Certificate of Course Approval and Certificate of Course Approval. Next slide, please. To have more details and knowledge about the STCW 2010 Manila Amendment, let's watch this video. Please play the video.
In today's video, let's see the STCW 2010 Manila Amendments. Introduction. Conventions are updated from time to time to accommodate new technology, strict environmental and safety standards, and system improvements. Similarly, the STCW 95 Convention was revised in Manila on June 25, 2010, in the presence of IMO members, guaranteeing that worldwide demands for safety and environmental policy, as well as standards of training and certification to operate sophisticated technology in the future are met. The Manila meeting began on June 21, 2010, and it took associate members 5 days to reach an agreement on revising STCW 95. The Manila modification to the STCW 2010 will take effect on January 1, 2012. Major changes and amendments. The engine department received the most alterations and amendments, followed by the rest of the system structure. The following are significant modifications to each chapter of the STCW Convention and Code. Revalidation of a certificate of competency granted by any governing authority for upper and management level officers. For crews and officers serving on board, new and enhanced training guidelines have been developed. New MARPOL awareness standards, including leadership and collaboration training. Strict controls are in place to prevent counterfeit certificates of competence, COC, from entering the international market. For acceptable functioning of seafarers aboard, the rest hour on board has been extended from 70 to 77 hours per week. Electrotechnical officer with authorized training at TOC is introduced. To address the officer shortage, more facilities and improved training for younger engineers and cadets are needed. Updated drug and alcohol policies, as well as a thorough medical check. Ability seamen must now acquire a certificate of competency before entering a vessel. New training techniques based on contemporary technology, such as electronic chart displays and information systems, are being developed. A strict competency standard for ship crews working aboard tankers, gas carriers, and chemical carriers. ISPS trainings, as well as trainings to deal with pirate attacks, have been updated and enhanced. Modern training approaches such as distant learning and web-based learning are included. New training requirements for ship crews utilizing dynamic positioning systems in polar waters. The International Maritime Organization has launched the Go to Sea campaign to address the global lack of seafarers. In today's video, in this time I would talk about the contains of STCW Amendment 2010. The 2010 amendments, the Manila Amendments, to the Convention and Code were adopted by Resolutions 1 and 2, respectively, by a conference of parties to the STCW Convention, held in Manila, Philippines, from 21 to June 25, 2010, 2010 STCW Conference. The amendments mainly introduced 1. Improved measures to prevent fraudulent practices associated with certificates of competency and strengthen the evaluation process, monitoring of parties' compliance with the Convention. 2. Strengthen provisions on medical standards. 3. Revised requirements on hours of work and rest and new requirements for the prevention of drug and alcohol abuse. 4. New certification requirements for able seafarers, deck, and engine. 5. New requirements relating to training in modern technology such as electronic charts and information systems, ICTIS. 6. New requirements for marine environment awareness training and training in leadership and teamwork. 7. New training and certification requirements for electrotechnical officers and electrotechnical ratings. 8. Updating of competence requirements for personnel serving on board all types of tankers, including new requirements for personnel serving on liquefied gas tankers. 9. New requirements for security training for all seafarers, as well as provisions to ensure that seafarers are properly trained regarding piracy and armed robbery. 10. Refresher training module every 5 years for basic training on personal survival techniques and fire prevention and firefighting, advanced firefighting, and proficiency in survival craft, rescue boats, and fast rescue boats. 11. Introduction of modern training methodology including distance learning and e-learning. 12. New training guidance for personnel serving on board ships operating in polar waters. HARDA currently contains mandatory provisions in this regard. 13. New training guidance for personnel operating dynamic positioning system. In this
And that's all for our report, sir. Thank you.
Okay, very good presentation. Thank you very much, Group 5. So we go to Group number 6 and let us hear their presentation.